What's up, everybody? My name is BMax, aka Brandon. This is episode 103 of the Anime Dojo. I'm alongside Chris this evening. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, buddy. How about you?
Doing well, can't complain. We're getting into the end of spring, getting into summer. We're about the first week, through the first week of May. It's going to warm up pretty quickly, but we're getting to that close to end of spring, early summer start really fast. We're going to have a couple things to talk about. We're going to talk about solo leveling and a couple directors and people who work for the studio, but also Crunchyroll had mentioned it. A couple other places had mentioned that they need fan support to show they can continue. We're also going to talk about a weird thing with Demon Slayer because there's a report out that they're going to do a sneak peek for this Infinity Castle arc sometime in the next week. But in the US, it's going to be a sneak peek, so we don't know what this sneak peek is going to be out. We're going to kind of talk about what they show. Then we'll do the charts, and then we'll go in the episodes. Episode 5 of The Beginning After the End, and episode 5 of To Be Hero X. But we'll start off with this. We're at the halfway point, or close to the halfway point. We're at 5. So we're going to go 5 into 6. So we're at the halfway point, technically, for most of these shows. This season doesn't feel like it's gotten as much recognition behind it, even at the halfway point. And that's being with a lot of the ones we've watched. So I watched Witch Watch, I watched The Brilliant Healer, I've gone back and watched Alter Meister. I still need to catch up on Fire First. I put them on Talk to Me. I've caught up a lot of things. A lot of different things. I think there's a few things like Hulu and stuff I've kept up on. But Chris, what do you think about this season so far as a whole? Because I think it's lackluster, but it's not great.
Okay, so there are a few sleepers in here that then the sleepers are like good B rated, and then there are a few hitters like Windbreaker, which I need to catch up on. But maybe it could be just reflecting my age. But I felt the need to go back and rewatch all of Slime. That's how I felt about this season. Like, cause I'm saying this because I feel like I'm going to be able to catch up on some episodes and binge them because half of the shows that are good shows that are coming out this season are going to be going throughout the summer season as well. And so I know that we're expecting some more heavy hitters to come back next season, but now we got some of the best shows continuing too. So and the best thing about these shows is that they need time to cook. They need time to build up a story, to kind of do a little world building, a little character development, to finally that they start smacking you in the face with some real stuff. That's what I see happening.
You're right, but it's also kind of funny. I agree with you, but the thing is, if you look at the shows you've listed, look at the shows from this season. Unaware Altermeister, good world building, good characters, good decent story. And we're getting to the point now where he's finally going to figure out who he actually is. The Brilliant Healer, good world building. We met all the characters. We met them through different means. We met the girl now who tried to, almost off her main character. I feel like there's a small issue with this generation of anime. Like I think the issue with this style anime now, it's not more story based. It's a more what's the word I'm looking for? It feels like they're trying to do the whole keep your attention spans. Make sure you can keep engaged with the show. And they don't try to do this. They don't try to do much story. They do more. Uh, they do more quick cuts and things that are uh, very easy, like flashy things, flashy lights, that kind of stuff. I don't know. This season kind of feels like they're not really focusing on just like character development and storytelling. They're just trying to give you quick things to keep your mind racing, but not let you think too deeply. I don't know. I I might sound crazy, but the only other show the only show that's done well this season is Rock is a Girl's Modesty.
Ooh, good one. Which is one of my favorite. This is probably my top favorite out of the season so far.
But that's also because you can tell they're having fun with making the music, but also when they do the storytelling was deep. Yeah, did I call the story? Absolutely. But I did, which is funny. I called it to a T, which is kind of scary to say.
Man, bro, like for the audience that don't know, usually when I call something, there's no big surprise. But dang, when Brandon called it, bro, it's the most random thing because it's something that nobody else saw and he saw sees it. It's like, dang, how did you get that? And nobody else did.
and the thing is, it's so crazy to think about the story for Rocks a Girl's Modesty. I just think the way they're telling the story, having fun with the characters, is a big thing. And like you said, there's a clear protagonist now, or antagonist now. I'm not gonna spoil it because it's actually a pretty fun idea. And I'm like, okay, how do you play with that idea and actually make it where she changes who she is, or who they are? Excuse me.
No, because bro, it's hard. Like when you watch any show about any psychopath, like Bates Motel is a good example. You realize that the kids were normally the innocent ones, but the true psychopaths were the mothers.
Yeah.
And bro, that's scary to think about, bro, because some women do manipulate their kids like that.
But I think the twist, because it's funny, there's a twist one way, and then the twist is the other way, and they twist the other way in such an interesting way. You're like, oh, okay. And it's funny to me because it feels like the show is actually having fun with that. Here's the other thing too. I think the other show I would put on that list is Windbreaker. But Windbreaker is one of those ones I'm like, okay, Windbreaker was good from the prior season.
I don't know yet, just because I'm not caught up on it yet. Because I know it started off, it started off good, it started off strong. I have no good excuse for why I fell off on it.
No, absolutely not. I think the thing is with this season, it's quantity over quality, and I think it's because they threw a bunch at us and hoped to see what sticks.
I can see that.
And I think certain things are sticking, like the Brandon here in the new life, amazing. To Be Hero X after the cliffhanger that just happened,
man,
yo, like. If we're gonna see the episode tonight, connection about 2 Beer X. I learned something, which I didn't think I was gonna learn about it. I need to go back to watch the General Romance because I heard that's getting really twisty and interesting. I think the thing is, there's not really, like we talked about last week. There's not really there's not A and B anymore. There's no A tier, S tier level show that everybody was really talking about. There's a bunch of other ones.
Which works. For me, that works. That's perfect. The A-rated shows would be like Fire Force, which again, I have no good excuse for why I'm not watching it. I know it's going ham. But it's just the fact that, like I said before, we could just be getting older.
Yeah.
But even when we know it's a lot of things going on around us, it's like you can kind of tune out and tune in to the anime because those shows that have a way of bringing you back into the action, and if it's not enough story going on, I said that backwards. If it's not enough action going on, they tend to bring it back around with the story.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting conversation because I think even with this halfway point is not bad. I just think the halfway point, there's just a lot in a bunch of different places, and it's hard to keep up with everything. Because I want to go back to Lazarus. I want to go back to Lazarus to see what Lazarus is about. But Lazarus is
Yeah.
an old school type of show. But I also want to go back
Yes.
to. I want to go back and do Go Loser
Old
Ranger.
Country Bucket.
Old
Lose
country.
Ranger. Man,
Yeah.
see, there
There's a
are
lot.
some good ones out there, but it's like, oh my goodness, like the fact that they're so spread out on so many different platforms, it kind of ruins the ambience on watching them on one place now. That's for me. That's what it is.
Correct. But there's actually been a report. I don't know if you've heard this. There's a report out from Anime Corner News talking about that Crunchyroll got outbidded for a couple of shows in the past couple weeks by
You said that they got omitted.
outbidded like price wise.
Oh, you
They
said
got
outbidding.
by
Mm,
Netflix, and I'm
see,
like, it's kind of interesting. But also, Netflix has been trying to build up their library. Oddly enough, they've been doing it easily. So I don't know if that outbidding is them trying to just get more shows that are not their own and try to build up their library, or is that just them trying to kind of try to compete as much as they can? Because like, do I see a day where we could get something like a maybe a My Hero if it continues on with this little like My Hero Academia Villages get outbidded from Crunchyroll or something big.
mm.
Something big. Can something get big, get outbidded to where it goes to Netflix? Absolutely. I think it can be. How's that going to happen? I don't even know. Because I think
Well,
that's going to be
see,
the scary part.
let me. I feel that, and I have to say this as an I feel statement because if it turns out to be true, I didn't, I don't want my head put on bounty or anything. But I feel that when Sony acquired Crunchyroll, they kind of painted a cross or a bad stigmatism on Crunchyroll simply because of the bidding wars. You know what I'm? Do you see what I'm saying? Like they didn't think that they would get this kind of backlash just because they bought out a anime broadcasting for Americans. So
Huh.
to me, it makes sense that let's try to push out the American shows. Or let's try to push out the Japanese shows because they're not conditioning the Americans the way we want them to. You know what I mean? Like
But is that
let's have that woke conversation real quick. You know what I mean? Like because when you look at it, okay. For me, it's more like one of those instances of games of civilization when you let another another country's culture outdo your own culture.
Mhm.
And then you tend to have sway of another country's decision through their people based off the shows that they're watching.
Correct?
Now, isn't that an interesting concept?
Yeah. Yeah. And but it's also kind of funny because if that's the case, if your theory is true, the whole thing about them buying Crunchyroll is just a way to get their other stuff, get stuff from Japan on the platform,
Ding, ding, ding.
which is
Which is
can be
not too far fetched at
not
all.
far fetched, good or bad. It can be kind of like okay, you're trying to make more of the stuff from there, no lesser stuff from America now, but
Because you have to think about it. Why is tourism for Japan so popular? Because of their anime.
yeah,
Mm. Okay, I'm gonna
anime,
shut up now.
anime is one of the biggest. But I going on that point, and I'm gonna bring this up, and it's gonna be kind of funny. I'm gonna ask you this: if Genlock was on Crunchyroll, do you think it would have done better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Because it would have reached the right fan base properly. Because I don't know too many people who watch anime who also have a Max subscription. You
Okay.
know what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
And that's just my point of view.
Okay. I I think it'll be interesting to see where this season ends up. If this season ends up where we don't have a lot of strong or interesting hitters by the end of it, I think a lot of people will be like, this season was kind of good. But I think if there's yeah, I think if the season comes out and everybody's like, okay, this is really the end of these seasons were really good for the spring. It caught your eye, made you think a little bit, is worth your while, then absolutely I think people are like, oh, it was above average. It was really good. We'll take a above average, spring, and then. But I think the other thing too, I think everybody's waiting for that summer. The spring used to be your big hitter. Now the summer is. I think the summer is like, oh, here's what you want to do during your summer period.
But wait a minute, what if that's their niche?
Mm,
Because last year the summer was dead.
yes,
The spring was the hitter.
yes, it was.
The year before that, it was the same but in reverse. The winter was your big hitters, but your spring was dead, and
Yeah.
everything else started kicking back up in the summer.
So are
So
they
what if we
trying to?
start seeing a rotation?
If you're going to start taking a rotation, I'd be fine with that. But then you would at least need a one or two in each season to give people something to care about.
And they do.
Oh,
They do.
yeah, they do. I think you technically do have it here, but I think the beginning after the end was overhyped, and I think Two Big Hero X is just getting there now.
The beginning of the end was overhyped, while To Be Your X was underhyped.
Underhyped,
Yep.
correct. And I think that's the thing with this. I think, and like putting on Talking Me is just there, but it's also because people want to assume it's going to be kind of like we see with
And it is.
High School
It is.
DxD or High School the Dead. It's not nowhere near that, but
Yeah, it is.
that's what people wanted.
Yeah, that's true.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think there's nothing too crazy coming up in the rest of the season. Everything is going to pretty much be out as of next week. I think there's nothing left for Crunchyroll per se. I think that everything else is like Japan only. But we'll see. We'll see what goes on. We'll see what happens. I am interested to see how much things change over the time period. But let's get into the other story real quick. We're gonna get into this story about Demon Slayer, and it's an interesting one. Where is that? Oh, it's fans outside Japan will also get to see an exclusive new sneak peek at Demon Slayer Infinity Castle art coming in May 14th in North America. So Crunchyroll has confirmed that fans in North America and Canada will have a chance to get exclusive sneak peek of the Castle art movie on May 14th, which will be shown with the reveal screening of the Mugen Train arc ahead of that arc. After that arc, it was previously announced that the new trailer will be shown on May 9th, so Friday, alongside the relevant screening in Japan.
Now, see, here in America, when they release them shows, those movies, we got the last episode, or the last two episodes of the last arc, and then the first episode of the new arc.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're doing the same thing and then only giving you a probably 5-minute preview of the next season or the movie, I think, bruh, that's a gimmick. You're low key paying $20 to $30 for a ticket just to see a commercial.
It's funny. I had the same thought, and I was like, "New trailer." We've seen the first 5 minutes of that though, so we know what happens.
Bro, now that is funny. Like, people of England, don't waste your money.
Like, we've seen the
I'm
first
sorry
5
to
minutes
say
where they fall through the castle, and then you kind of see shots of them all kind of like about to get ready for their fights they're gonna have with each different demon head or demon number, not demon head. But it's also kind of funny because I'm like, what are you planning with this? Are you planning to do something kind of insane where you're gonna have?
it seems like it.
But that trailer could only be about 4 minutes, maybe 5 the most.
That's what I'm saying. So, what are y'all going to show that I can't wait for a few weeks to go and watch? That you would have me pay double the ticket money to go see. Now, see, I'm only saying this because I know what your next topic is, but at least the people of Solo Leveling are being honest and just asking for it.
Yeah, they're asking for it, not trying to go skirt around it. I will say
Mm-hmm.
this though. There was another story alongside this from Anime Corner. Let me pull it up real quick. It's actually kind of interesting. I think it's funny. Where is it? So, Department of Trade Representative, Consumer Trade Representative, to begin the process to apply 100% tariffs on all imported films in foreign countries, which would, of course, affect anime. The weird thing about this, then, and we're just kind of talking about it now, is the fact that you're going to have, what is it? You're going to have the Demon Slayer little Mugen Train arc in theaters alongside that trailer.
See?
If you're gonna do that, that means you were paying $20 originally for the ticket.
Well, Brandon, remember I asked you, and I hate that we had to delete it, but yeah, I called it. I called it.
You did call it. You did call it. I can't disagree with that. I think that's kind of cheap.
It is a cheap shot.
You're gonna ask people to pay 25, 30 on the upper end if you have to 35. Like that seems kind of bad just for that seems kind of bad just for a Demon Slayer fan, which will probably also go up on YouTube like the next day.
And see, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, firstly, we already know that America's a good 30% of America's profit comes from what they make in movies right now. Do you really think they're gonna raise prices on the countries that they make these movies in? It's not just anime.
Oh no!
But almost every movie that we see on TV now is made overseas somewhere. Like, so honestly, when it comes to anime, depending on what it is, I might pay $30 to go see. But with these BS movies they got, the regular movies they got coming out right now, I don't know.
Like,
Now
like
hold up, brother, because it's a $7 movie right down the street, and I don't even go see them there, and that's $7.
yeah, let's say there a lot of those like $7 or those like $5 movie theaters that used to be around slowly closing up, so they're not really not really a thing anymore. But it's also a thing like I wanted to see what was it? Oh, Final Destination. Just because I was interested, because I've seen the previous movies, I know of the series. But when I go pay, would I pay $30 to go see Final Destination? Probably not.
Nope. I'll wait till it come out and rent it for $5.
Yeah, that's like there's no real rush. Honestly, I think this is the one time I would have been okay with. And I know it's. I will say this right now. It's not Infotable's fault. It is not Infotable's thing. It's not their fault. Sabbath way of doing this. I would have better if you came on and said, "We're gonna put out this trailer in theaters alongside Mugen Train arc," or and it's funny. It said Mugen Train arc, not Swordsmith Village arc.
So the people hating are
more sus.
Right, because if you're doing that as a premiere and you're not even debuting your most recent season, come on now.
But I think the reason they're not, I think they did say with Mugen Train arc they upped it to was it the Mugen Train arc they upped it to 4K? Yeah, they did. It's a 4K visual now. Like 4K visuals, better sound, all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, that's still kind of weird. You bring it back Mugen Train arc just to do that, plus add us the little thing for the Infinity Castle art. I'm like, I don't know what there's going to be. I don't really know what they're doing. I feel like this is just going to turn into.
I was gonna say, can you imagine how lost you would be as a Demon Slayer fan watching the end of Mugen Slayer? I mean, the Mugen Train, not realizing you skipped the entirety of the entertainment district and the training village arc. And no, I said and the Swordsmith village and the training arc, and then they show you Mugen's castle, and you like, what the heck just happened?
But they're also, I think they're also assuming that everybody's watched. I think they're assuming that everybody's already watched up through Swordsmith Village and the hostile training arc. So that's not gonna really be a bother. But I'm like you, yes, you haven't watched those yet, and you're kind of like, where are they jumping to the castle? What is this? You'll be totally confused. The only way this works, technically, and I don't think they would do it, you would have to show Mugen Train, Swordsmith Village, and the beginning of the Hosher arc, and then do, or not even the beginning. So Mugen Train, end of the Swordsmith Village, and the Hosher training arc, and then show the trailer. That makes more sense because at least you understand.
You forgot Swordsmith Village.
No, I didn't say that. So Mugen Train, Swordsmith Village, Hosher training arc, and then
you dress right there. You skip the entertainment district. See?
Oh yeah, that's right. They skip 3 arcs to get to the. All right, that doesn't seem right. I feel like that's that's bad on their part, but I would be okay if you would have just said, "Here, we need to put stuff out. Let's roll the dice."
Which should have been the case.
We need the money, but I know they're not going to say we need the money. That's bad. Deon, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well.
Finally, we were waiting on this guy because he's been missing out on some thorough conversations. Like, man, like, bruh, like, I know your ear has got to be burning, not even because we've been saying your name, but just because the conversations have been so tantalizing.
I, so, Chris, I'm going to ask you this, but I think it's all set up. What is your base price now?
You said what's my
base
base
price for a movie? Now, if it's something like for anime especially, but just movies in general as well, what is that base price now for you that you would go see one?
My friends that know me best know that I like to be winding down. So for me that means movie theaters like
Sorry, laughing. Perfect.
Yeah. What's the movie theaters called? You know, the ones that serve
Oh,
food.
like Studio
With
Movie
the
Grill.
food, yeah,
Like,
the
that's
delivery and
gonna
stuff.
Movie Grill, B&B theaters.
Yeah,
There's
Alamo stuff like that.
those are the places I would prefer to go see a movie. So therefore, the base price that I would pay for any movie is about $15. That's about the max I'm gonna pay. Now,
okay.
depending on the neighborhood I'm in and what movie it is, and we know how movie theaters can be really ritzy sometimes. I know that base price is going to change based off of that and how bad I want to see the movie. But make no mistake, y'all know me by now. How often do I go to the movies?
Not that often.
So that lets you know that I don't play with going to go to see a big screen movie when I can do it at home.
Okay. So Deon, here's what the topic was. So Demon Slayer is putting out a special trailer for the Infinity Castle arc.
Okay.
Before the movie actually launches in Japan on May 14th.
Okay.
But this special trailer is alongside the Mugen Train arc because they redid. I forgot. I told Chris as I'm talking about it. They redid Mugen Train to put up the 4K, all that kind of stuff.
And now tell them where it's showing it. Where they're doing this.
So they're doing it in theaters. So they're gonna do the Mugen Train arc, and then they're gonna do the new trailer in theaters for this. But then the trailer comes out like the trailer's supposed to come out this Friday, I think, or something like that for the States.
And then they're doing
it. Train?
No, for the Infinity Castle arc. The new trailer for Infinity Castle arc is supposed to come out Friday. But the Mugen Train stuff it's connected to the Mugen Train movie because they did the upgrades for it.
Right, and then they're debuting it in the UK where they're just getting to Mugen Train.
Getting the Mugen Train. Like, so my question for you is, and I asked Chris this, and Chris brought it up, it's kind of weird that we're getting the Mugen Train thing back on theaters, but you're doing the Swordsmith, you're doing the Infinity Castle arc trailer. The funny part is, like Chris mentioned, skipping 3 arcs.
Entertainment District, the Swordsmith Village, and the training arc.
Do you think putting out the trailer like this is a good idea? Because me and Chris both like, no, this is kind of weird.
As long as it's just a trailer, I think it's fine. It's not like they're doing something and adding it to the back end of something. Like, oh yeah, we go do the whole arc and then add this arc to the back end of it. It's just a trailer. So it's like, since you still paid to go see our movie or our show, we'll give you a little something because I know you willing to do it. The only thing that could be bad about this is the fact that UK isn't caught up. So then it creates like spoilers.
That's what we were saying.
Yeah, it's funny if the
But
UK
it's
is not
also just a trailer, so it's like a tease of, oh my God, I need to catch up so I can see this.
But I think the interesting thing about that is, I told Chris this, and I thought about this myself. That trailer, think about we've seen the end of Swordsman, we've seen the end of the Hospital Trainer arc Deon. That trailer kind of rolls into the fact we see them all fall in the castle. So what else are you going to show in that trailer that the US hasn't seen and Canada hasn't seen outside of the US and Canada will get to see? Like, I think there needs to be something new, Deon. Like what new can you show the US and Canada
Well,
that actually make them want to watch the trailer?
here's the thing too, though. It all depends on what you're expecting in the trailer.
Fair.
If you're expecting for them to go all out and show you cutscenes and stuff like that, like full blown trailer, then you might be in for a rude awakening. It might not be that special. It might be essentially the same thing we got with the Sword Smith's Village, and just come out as a little teaser trailer, which to me wouldn't. I mean, I don't care how you put that out because it doesn't. I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter as much because we're already anticipating it, but we're already anticipating it. So if you just putting out a little teaser trailer, it's like, okay, I already know that's gonna happen. Let's go. Let's get to it. You know?
Yeah. Before we get to the other topic, I'm gonna ask you this. I asked Chris this. What is your limit for a movie? What's your price at? Are you kind of like Chris in that sense, going to a place like Studio Movie Grill, AMC?
Oh,
I don't know,
nah.
Draft
See,
House.
me and Chris are two different movie going people.
Okay. All right.
I'll go to the movie on a random day to see a random movie just to go to the movies. Like,
Okay.
I am a movie going person. I pay a subscription service to movie theaters so I can go see a movie whenever I want to. I am the movie person. So my cutoff is probably $30 for a movie.
Okay. Yeah, and weird. I think mine's is right at the same, like 20 between 20 and 30. And that's because I like more of your Studio Movie Grill. I'm a Draft House style. I can go like the AMC we went to. Good, I appreciated it. In the Cinemark we went to, I think all together, I like that one.
No,
For me, I
Cinemarks
don't
are my
really.
place.
But it's funny. Most Cinemarks around here closed up. That's the downside. Like most of the ones around here closed up fast because we used to have a bunch around here.
Yeah, see, we got new ones out this way, like real nice. Chris, did you like those seats we got the last time?
I'm sorry, bro, but B&B has got everybody beat right now. So sorry.
Who?
B&B theaters, they got
I've
everybody beat right
never
now.
even been there.
I've heard of the name, but I've never
They
heard of
are
the
a
name.
new movie chain that's coming into Dallas, and bro, they are thorough.
Yeah, as long as they stay in Dallas, they don't have me to worry about.
No, because they are building one near you. So yeah.
You might have a problem. The reason why I like Cinemarks though is because you get a fair ticket price with the commodities too. They're gonna have restaurants in there. They're gonna have drinks, big seats, comfortable seating, like without
So
paying for the
B&B,
big studio movie grill tickets and stuff.
right? So B&B does that, and they even the one down here, they even have the couches. So you can pay for a couch if you want to.
Kind of like
Oh,
you
they
see overseas.
scandalous, bro.
Yeah,
Overseas.
bro. And guess what? Those tickets are in my price range. I can go and
Okay.
pay $10 to go see a movie in that theater, and
In a
and and
couch.
then, yes, on the couch.
Yeah. But see, I say I pay $30, but because of my subscription services, I'll never pay over five
Yeah,
dollars
no,
for
yeah,
a movie
absolutely.
ticket. Like I just don't do it just because. But I do pay for the subscription service, which
Well,
is probably like
Mm-mm.
$10 a month or something like that.
yeah.
But I also get free tickets, so it weighs out.
The thing about it is the reason I'm bringing this up, and we're gonna roll into this other topic because the other topic has the same kind of issue, and I think it's funny to me because I've seen this so much this week. Solo Leveling, ladies and gentlemen, very hyped show, did very well. The first two seasons were beautiful. I can't give enough praise to this show, but I'll say you this. This is funny. One of the heads for the studio talked and basically said we need the fans' help to continue the series and kind of if the fans want it, it can continue. Well, then we see it I see it a couple of times a week through Twitter, and then I saw it on Facebook, and also saw it on Instagram, but I also saw it. I think one of the Crunchyroll heads had mentioned it too. Deon, I'm gonna ask you this first. What do they need fan support for? I get the point you're asking for fan support, but fan support kind of tells me you don't have the budget to make the next season. But also, on the same point, they said the next season can't be done for a couple of years down the road anyway, because the guy who did the first 2 seasons is doing something else for the time period. So where are we going? Like, damn, where are we going with this? Are they needing to build up money to make the next season, or do they need the fans who want to see the next season made by buying the books, playing the game, whatever?
Let's be honest. It's a little bit of both. You know, because it's not like it's cheap. You know?
That's fair.
But they also get fundings from other places, so you can't really put it all the eggs in one basket, But I just hope they wouldn't try to put it all on the fans, because at some point it's like, what are you actually paying for? Where's the burden of I'm supporting you, but you don't even know who I am type deal? Like,
That was my first thought. I'm like, what are you asking for?
yeah, because I get people saying like, okay, well, we need help. You want this content? Come help me, right? Twitch streamers, that's their whole game. I'm broke. You want content? I'll make content, but you got to pay for it. So
Yep.
I get it at a certain extent, but then it's also like I don't really pay for any subscriptions, so
But
okay.
It goes back to something before I ask Chris this thing, and it goes back to something I thought about. Chris, we talked about at the beginning of this before we even started the episode tonight. Do you know the game Deon Expedition 33?
Ooh, yeah.
Really good game. Me and Chris were both playing. I just started Chris before me into it. But I saw something on Instagram, actually on Twitter, that actually made me smile. The game has sold over 2 million copies in its
Really?
first 2
Yep.
weeks, I think. First week or something.
And that's
Funny
without
enough,
the Game Pass people like me.
like me and Chris. And I'm like, that's a good thing because it actually was a well-produced game that's not a AAA thing, which has just a good story, good character building, and good world building.
Let me ask you this: is it actually good though?
Yes.
Because I know there was a
You
lot
would
of hype
call this
around
good
it.
by your standards. You would call it good by your standards.
Correct.
Okay, because I hate turn-based games because it is turn-based, right?
Yes, but it's not like
it's an
not your
interactive
old
turn-based. It's
yeah,
an interactive turn-based.
it's not the old time turn-based. I don't like old time turn-based games. I don't like the old Final Fantasies. I like this better because
Yeah.
you're going back and forth.
Okay, so without giving away the game, the mechanics work. So it's turn-based, but you have to act during your turn and on your opponent's turn.
Correct.
Okay, so it's like
So
Yu-Gi-Oh.
you're doing everything. So you're doing the
So you have to
parrying,
match. Yeah.
you're
You
doing
have
the
to.
blocking, you're doing the dodging, you're doing all that as you're also thinking about your moves of how you're going to attack. I think
Exactly. Like
Okay.
it is strategy on top of timing. And I do mean like the timing is probably the most annoying part of the whole game.
But the reason I bring this up, and the reason I bring it up, think about this. This game has already sold 2 million copies and it's only been out for a week. outside of the fact that people are like, and I've heard people in a joking way, not in like a true way, like a joking way, most people are like, "There's nothing big out right now," and you go down the list of things. We got Indiana Jones. We got this. We got Split Fiction. We got, and the most of that list, and most of that list is indie games. Indiana Jones is the exception. Um, I think a Valve would be the exception. But through all that, most of those games haven't asked for fan support in the sense of like hype or helping us kind of get the word out. The
Well,
game speaks for themselves. And
you're
I
also in a world where you don't have to anymore. Just release good content, and people will want to support it. Like we have so much DLC content now that's flooding the game, where it's like we don't even pay for the game yet. We just pay for DLC. Like I'm a big Warframe player. Like I'm actually playing as we speak. Um, but Warframe is a free game,
This is.
but you can put so much money into it, and they don't ask for it. They just say, "Hey, if you want to support, buy this pack, and you're good." And their stuff is expensive, yeah, but they give you the option to do so. They're not just coming straight out like, "Hey, we're broke, beat
Yeah.
us."
Yeah. Chris,
And the
I know
content
you
is
got
good
something to
enough
say.
to make you want to pay for it.
I know you got something to say about this. Go ahead, because I know you were like you had some words about this.
Okay, repeat the question so I don't get off topic.
So, do you think what Solo App is asking for? And I'll go with what Deon kind of said. It's a yes and a no. Do you think it's good that they're asking for fans' help, but also is it a thing where they kind of have to, but also they have to also ask for their investors as well to help them? Is there a
Okay,
is there a balancing act there that they have to play?
okay. See, okay. Now this is where like I need for everybody to act like they got memory all of a sudden. I really need for people to remember that they have a brain between their ears. It wasn't
Oh,
not long ago that we were just talking about a certain company who was trying to finish an anime as they were getting the episodes out.
oh yeah. Oh, we're going down that road.
So so
That's
now
an old episode.
I read the question, how long does it really take to produce one episode? Okay, so now that I put that out there, I would rather them say, hey fans, we want more of your support rather than hey, let's put out a gimmick and we're going to replay an entirely old movie that we just happen to hype up just so we can get more money out of it. And we're going to hype it up even more by putting the new trailer at the end of an old movie. I'd much rather you just say, "Hey fans, we need your help. We want to do this with the show, but we need more money." Let's just be real. Ask me. That's what I would prefer. Now, to each their own. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I mean, at least the fans can decide for themselves, is it worth it? Because if honestly, how much money do you think they could raise if they put out like a GoFundMe? Like I'm sure that GoFundMe would raise probably about at least $1 million at least. You know what I'm saying? And you need what?
Yeah. See,
So
no, go ahead. My bad. I'm gonna let you finish your thought.
I
My
mean,
bad.
but that's the whole point that I'm making though. It's like, at what point are we going to decipher the truth from the fiction? And for me, it looks more truthful when you just say, "Hey, we need your help because we want to do this." You see
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
it's
saying?
also kind of distasteful to me.
But that's what. But I'm not saying
Like,
that I like
I'd rather
it.
you be like, "Yo, we need help," but why don't you, we'll offer you these T-shirts or something. Buy these T-shirts with our logo on it, and the funds from the T-shirts are gonna go towards this.
Right. So
You know,
you
give me
saying
something to make it
you
feel
rather get
like
a product. You rather get something in return.
just some type of value in return, something that I
Well,
can
that's what I'm
feel
saying.
like.
I'm not opposed to that, but I'm saying for me, I would rather them do that than what Demon Slayer is doing. That's just me
But
personally.
Demon Slayer also is known for doing weird stuff to promote it.
Exactly. So when it comes to personal preference between the two that we're saying actively, I would prefer what solo leveling is. I'm not saying I like it because
Yeah.
it's still the act of what they're doing in and of itself is weak. Let's just be real. It's weak.
And then the main thing about what they're doing with solo leveling that's gonna irk me is you're asking for this, you're gonna do this, and then you're still gonna take a whole week to release an episode. No, I'm joking. That's
but
But not if they get outbid by Netflix.
the other thing
yeah.
about the other thing about this though, which is funny,
I don't want it to go to Netflix. Don't do that to yourselves.
the other thing about this that's interesting. Do you remember after season 2 started, or halfway through season two? I don't remember. You remember Chris said to have a brain. Do you remember when they said they were greenlit for like 3 to 5 more seasons?
No, it's 5 episodes, 5 seasons. Yeah.
Five seasons plus that movie. So what are we
What
doing
happened?
here?
Where's all that money? Where's all that money?
No, just to get the permission doesn't mean that they have the fundings. Look at Blue Lock.
Correct. You do, yeah. You can get a permission.
We're not gonna
You can
talk about that trash.
I'm just
you can
saying,
green
you can have the permission without the funding. You can get
you
it
can
if you
get the
get the
green
money. You got the
you can get
permission to make
greenlit.
it.
You can get greenlit for something and never happen.
Well, then
Never
I
do
guess
that.
that's like saying because didn't Slime get also for 5 or 6 seasons? Does anybody
Yes.
remember
Our
that?
slime went for or was supposed to go longer than that,
Longer than that.
but
But
they
I
didn't
think
have
it'll
enough content or something like that.
correct. I'm gonna go back to an analogy because you brought the analogy up, and I have to back you up. I have to kind of play devil's advocate to it. You talk about Twitch streamers. Well,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we're going down this road. All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, little rabbit.
I follow a couple, but yet here's why: personality, the way they do things, the way they handle their Twitch stream, and I respect the way they do it. The thing is, like you say, Kurt, like you say, Deon, content.
Mm-hmm.
The content they produce, in return, you want to do something good for them.
Yeah, you still feel like you're getting value out of giving. You know, you're
I
getting
think
something in return.
I think the thing is with solo leveling, they gave us the game, which,
Trash.
funnily enough, Chris's cousin wanted to play the game until he saw it was on mobile. By the way,
See,
Trash.
told you.
Absolutely trash.
I told
Stop
you,
making
brother.
mobile games.
Isn't
That's
that
Anime. Stop.
isn't
that's
that what
another
I?
tough. It's
Like
another
it
tough
can
road
be
that.
done and it can be done great,
Oh yeah,
but we're not succeeding at it. So stop doing
no.
it.
Well, then we get that. Then we get the little. I think they did also like a light novel thing where it was like an interactive light novel at the top of that, or something else. That was kind of it. Ultimately, to me, and this goes back to something I'm going to say this right now. This goes back to something we have already talked about. I'm going to go back to WeebCon real quick. Sorry, I'm bringing this Band-Aid back up. Rip that off for a second. If I wanted to
Hey,
support
I
them,
enjoy myself.
I would have bought the mangas, and I did enjoy myself.
Oh yeah.
But I would have
Dragons
bought the
Mayonnaise.
mangas.
Man,
That's the other thing about this. You
Yeah,
have
you
the
finna
book
make
sitting
Chris
out
cry.
there in the ether.
I
Like
ain't had no burger, man.
And it's so funny because like the
like
day after, my nephew called me and was like, "Hey, you get any manga? You know I'm collecting manga now." Like, oh
yeah,
god.
yeah. But but if you're gonna want to support something, they have the mangas. They have they have the DVDs. They have the stuff, but like I would want to get the manga, the light novel, and continue reading it because it was actually that good. But I can't. I couldn't at the time. I can go back. I can now get on Amazon or something to do it. But like, that's the way to support it. Even getting the rest of Demon Slayer, that's what I was gonna hope to do because I wanted to finish out the Demon Slayer series. It was like $4 away.
Yeah, but you know what the problem is with manga right now?
Which is
It's becoming niche
say,
and not in a good way.
wait. Repeat your statement. It's becoming niche. Explain
Yeah,
that to me.
and not in a good way, like niche, like, oh, well, only a few people know about it, and it's kind of like, it's like a hidden. No, it's like once you're a manga collector, you're a manga collector. Like it's its own world, and
Which is
because
the
of that,
reason
they
why
are
I don't.
yeah, but like they're starting to be so expensive and hard to come by, and you get like these only limited edition collector's editions people are looking for, and so it's harder to create and support a good revenue stream for manga. Now, add the fact that it's not actually a manga, it's a manhwa, which is even harder to come by physical copies of. You got a whole little problem on your hands. Now, what I would like to do, what I would suggest them do is do some theater releases.
Like drop a whole show or a whole season of anime as a movie.
You don't even have to drop the main season. Drop a 2-episode movie like they did with Sword Art or with Demon Slayer.
Not opposed to it.
Make
We are
you some money, finish out the season. Or
I,
finish out the next season,
next
do it
season.
for
Yeah. I don't. Like the thing is, I agree with you. I do. The problem is, it's never gonna happen. We're getting close to
yeah.
that point finally because we're doing double cores. Like half the shows from the spring season are going to double cores. We're gonna have one. We're gonna have most of them continue in the summer season. Do I want to see? Do I want to see the season model go away? Yes. Do I see it going away fully? No, because it's not an easy thing.
Man.
It's not an
Go
easy
ahead,
thing
go
to go
ahead.
to.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. But the way you just said that kind of tells me it tells other people it's like we're not going to the Netflix model. We're not going to the Netflix model where they drop everything at once on
Yeah,
Crunchyroll.
unfortunately.
Like I would love that, but it's never gonna happen because the way Japan's set up. The way Japan's
Bro,
set
if
up where
they could eat so good, man.
but
You
it's like
drop a movie of the first 2 or 3 episodes, especially Solo Leveling. Like, 'cause
oh
those
yeah, you
that
could do it.
episodes together could easily be a movie without
Yeah, you can do it.
changing a thing.
You could do it.
You drop that, then you drop the whole season release, right? Now you got a whole bunch of content you can produce. Then after you drop that, you drop the season release, you have the whole back end to the next season drop to capitalize on merchandise.
Assuming your anime or show was that popular enough.
But it already is. So at least the next season will be with Solo Leveling anyway. This is specifically portrayed
Oh,
through something like Solo Leveling.
I mean, you can also put that towards
Demon
like Fire
Slayer,
Force.
JJK, and all that. Fire
Yeah,
Force, yeah.
Fire Force. You can talk about the big ones. I will say this: it doesn't work for everything. Like, do I would ever see Witch Watch get that? No, but
No,
it's
but
a
they
it's
don't.
a
They're not asking for it either.
no. They're not. I think the thing is, I think we could see a mix of the two models. I think you could see a mix of where you keep the seasonal stuff like spring, summer, winter, fall, and then you have certain shows that we're just going to do straight, no season stuff. We're just going to drop everything at once and let it ride. Yes, it may take more time to finish out a season overall. Yes, but I think it would work just because the bigger the show, the more people are going to be okay with that.
You know what though?
I've said it before, bro. Oh, go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say I need an anime that comes out like Days of Our Lives, like one of those type of shows.
Ah,
That's what I need an anime, and it's got
So
that's
the
you
awesome.
thorough.
so
I
you
need
want
the
One
action.
Piece?
No, that comes out every week. No, I'm talking about a show, a new episode every day.
Well, if you haven't caught up,
Yeah, but that could be also done. The thing is, that's also getting around Japan's way of doing have to show on their show. If you could drop the thing that has to be shown in Japan, yeah, we'd be fine. But they're gonna drop that because that's like dropping it in the US. Like, oh, it has to show in the US before it can go anywhere else. Not a thing. Not easy to do. And it's a
Brandon,
thing where
I was gonna say something, and don't get mad at me, but I can name one show right now that you probably haven't thought of since it came out, and it was a fire show, but since it hasn't been talked about or anything, you've probably forgotten about it.
give me the show.
With Story of Wand and Sword.
I
Yeah,
can't wait for that next season to drop. It's supposed to be here soon.
You see what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like
But
these are
but see,
shows like.
but it's funny that show's been on the back burner because the first season was really good, and yet there was no one to talk about it after it finished. We kind of knew there
Because
was
of
a
who
common
the studio it came out of.
correct. Like I don't know. We'll see. I feel like what Solo was asking for is not that ordinary. But I do agree with Deon. I agree with both of y'all. I think Deon's partially right. You need something in return. But I think also Chris is right. Be straight up with us. Do a mix of both. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. But I think it's kind of funny to hear it from Solo Leveling, which has been so big and popular. You have A1 Productions working on it as well. One of the bigger anime studios in Japan. Like, well, and also has a Aniplex in America, by the way. Like, I don't know what you could really do to make people really claim for more. You left us on a cliffhanger that's actually one of the better cliffhangers I've seen all year. What else you gonna do?
Can I ask y'all a question?
Go ahead.
Is Mappa still the king of anime this year?
No.
No.
Has A1 taken it over?
Possibly.
Yes, possibly. I agree with Chris on that. Yes, possibly. Mappa has a lot of stuff coming out, but it's not like everything they've brought out so far this year.
So is it just not Mappa's time yet? Like, are they gonna be
The
kings
fact
in the
that
summer?
the shows that made Mappa the studio that they are, because Mappa is still a quote unquote new studio as compared to the rest of some of these, their heavy hitters just aren't out there, and
I mean, we
and,
have
and they know that they got to clean up their act because of all the bad publicity that they got. So
I mean,
they,
we're still supposed to get Chainsaw Man sometime this year. We're still supposed to get Hell's Paradise, which I'm looking forward to whenever we get another announcement about that. JJK is
Yeah.
supposed to be sometime this year. We're supposed to like. There's so much on Mappa's plate that's big stuff, but they've been putting a lot of small stuff out to keep them
exactly.
on a
I
foot for a
haven't
bit.
put out any hitters in a hot little minute.
Yeah, but we'll see. I think A1 and Mappa are right neck and neck. I think A1's a little bit higher, but A1's a little bit higher, but that's because A1's kind of more quantity over quality, or quality over quantity. They don't put out a lot of stuff. Most of the stuff they put out is very polished and well done. Mappa put out a lot of stuff, but everything's not really polished, except the big stuff. The big stuff for Mappa is always polished, but the smaller stuff not so much. Even
Kaiju number 8 comes out and it all goes away.
yeah, that's the other one. They have Kaiju as a which is really good. Like, yeah, there's a lot out there. Let's get up the beginning after the end. Get into that in episode 5. But we look at these charts, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the weirdest chart I think I've seen ever, and it's because of one thing and one thing only. And this is from week 4, April 25th through May 2nd. At number 1, To Be a Hero X got 11 spots. Witch Watch went down a spot at 2. The Apothecary Diaries went up 3 spots. 3. The Family Children went down 2 spots to 4. Windbreaker came back in charts at 5. Black Butler, Emerald, Witch Arc went down 3 spots at 6. Fire Force went down 3 spots at 7. Konosuba season 3 bonus stage that was coming out. That was on that list at the beginning of the year, beginning of the spring season. Came in the charts at 8. Go-Go Loser Ranger dropped a spot to 4, dropped a spot to 9, excuse me. And My Hero Academia Villages dropped a spot to 10. I'm sorry for Chris for this. Chris, what do you think about this chart?
Bro, this chart is bonkers, man. Like, I gotta put.
Like, I don't know what this chart is. Like, this chart's kind of weird.
Okay, so Hero X, okay, understandably there. Which watch? I don't know. I mean, I still don't get it. Now, the Shinjuki family, I heard that's got some.
The Shinjuki family is interesting. I think that's one I've heard that's good. Like you said, like you're saying.
Windbreaker is following right after that. I mean,
Windbreaker is like another one too. Like Windbreaker is kind of crazy, but I don't think it's like too out there. I don't know. Don't know much about Black Butler.
Black Butler is our man.
Why, Deon? Why Chris's internet's kind of going in and out a little bit. What do you think about this chart? I think this chart has interesting things. I think outside of the My Hero stuff or To Be Hero X, I think everything else is kind of surprised, a little bit shocking. Yeah. So, yeah, what do you think about this chart?
Honestly, I'm not surprised by this chart at all. To be Hero X clearly spun everybody's mind around on this episode. It was definitely dynamic. And the rest of these, I mean, they just kind of line up how I expect anime corner charts to line up. Like, if you look at it and you see Witch Watch has always done good on this chart. Apothecary Diaries has always done good on this chart. The fact that it had to jump back up may be a little surprising, but the fact that it's number 3 isn't, you know. What is it? Black Butler was doing good. It's not surprising because it's getting to the midpoint of the season where it starts to slow down a little bit before it gets into, heavier stuff. Fire Force, people are saying it's super mid right now, but I just feel like it's super slept on. Konosuba, of course, Konosuba is going to be on the chart because it's Konosuba, but this ain't even really an episode, so it is what it is. Go Loser Ranger has always been on the chart. Like this is really just a typical anime corner chart, bro. The biggest surprise will be Hero X, but even that episode isn't a surprise. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel like this chart just kind of is what probably would happen if Hero X had that big. If Hero X had that big episode, I kind of figured, okay, Hero X was going to do well. That twist, that plan, the twist was actually going to be the thing. Chris, I know you were kind of cutting out trying to talk your point, was anything else major from this chart that you kind of saw?
But so most of the shows that I'm watching are in the bottom half of the top 10, and I'm not mad at that. I'm not.
Okay. Go ahead and give us the Reddit chart because I'm interested now. I'm interested to see where Hero X sits on the Reddit chart, but I'm also interested to see where other things sit. So read out the
Look,
Reddit chart for us, Chris.
can somebody else read that for me? That's the reason why I can't. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not letting
I
me
got you.
switch.
Oh, you got it?
Go ahead, Deon. Yeah, go ahead, Deon.
All right. So number 1, we got Apothecary Diaries. Number 2 is Licorice Recoil. Which, yeah. Number 3, Mobile Suit Gundam. 4 is Witch Watch. 5 is the Kowloon Generic Romance.
So 6 is Ladies Modesty. And Ladies Modesty is actually been pretty good, surprisingly. So that's actually not surprising it's up there.
What is that? The Kowloon Generic Romance?
No, 6 is Rock's
Oh,
Ladies Modesty.
6 Rock is a Lady's Modesty. Yeah. 7 My Hero Academia Vigilantes. 8.
So 8 is Konosuba, which, like you said, it's kind of an OVA, more or less. So it seems
Yeah.
like this is not like an actual like.
I mean,
episodes.
it was. It's kind of super.
Yeah. It's kind
So
of
then you got Apocalypse Hotel, which, bruh, this is one of the weirdest, most interesting shows you could ever watch. So I can see it being on this list.
It's
And
definitely one of
then,
the new generational shows. Definitely.
yeah.
why does it sound like Apocalypse Hotel or like John Wick, but without the John Wick aspect of it? It's more like, oh, this is just a hotel where Armageddon can just happen at any point.
Imagine it as a mix
Armageddon
between.
already happened.
Yeah, like it's a mix between the hotel from John Wick and then the hotel from Hotel Hazbin or Hazbin Hotel.
Okay, that's a good
Yeah,
comparison. I'll take
imagine I Am Legend mixed with Has-Been Hotel.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like, it's on that.
And they may be sprinkling a little bit of Hotel for Dogs.
Ooh. Yeah, it's weird, man.
So
It's extremely weird.
So
But
we got
I
through
can't stop watching it.
That's the problem.
So we got through the top 10, but if you look at the rest of this list, like Fire Force is 12. Old Country Bumpkin is 14, which I have to give him credit. It's 14. Go-Go Lunar is 15. Windbreaker is 18.
People better stop sleeping on Windbreaker.
Lazarus is 21. Can a girl and a boy's friendship survive is 20. Oddly enough, I'm looking at the rest of this list, and guess what I'm gonna say, gentlemen? It's gonna be kind of weird when I say it. There is no To Be Hero X on this list at all.
Because, bro, everybody dropped off the first few episodes. It's like, what is this? And I can't blame them.
So now that's the other thing I'm gonna ask. We're gonna do that. We're gonna also do the beginning after the end tonight. What is going on with these shows? And we're about to get into the beginning after the end. But that tells me there's something wrong. Because if Reddit is saying that both those shows don't deserve a top 20, that's 25 and somewhere in there, what happened? Like, that's scary to think about. Like, there's not even a good reason for that. But we'll see. All right, let's get up.
Wait, I missed it. What happened?
No, I was saying it's weird because To Be Hero X or the beginning after end is not on the Reddit chart at all. The To Be Hero X is the bigger one. Beginning after end, I can see why. But To Be Hero X, which is the cliffhanger, I thought it would at least be on the Reddit chart. Deon?
I don't think so.
Don't.
Because to be Hero X, it's an acquired taste, them first few
Okay.
episodes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
Okay.
if you haven't like if you don't eat seafood, bro, I'm not gonna keep looking at the fish. Like I'm going for meat and potatoes or something. Now, if
Like,
you come back to me the next week and tell me that the fish tasted better than the steak ever could, I might go and give it another try. But
yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm
so
well.
next week may be good.
Okay. It's weird because we're not running low on time, or anything, but I think the more interesting show is going to be Two Hero X because they do something interesting with the show. We might see at the beginning after the end, only because as of right now, I think all three of us are going to can agree on this. We all kind of feel like it's not done anything well so far. At
But
least
I
with
don't mind that.
at least with 2B Hero X, there's something there. We know something's there.
There's
And
now.
there's now. And yeah, which is the funny part. There's now. So what we'll do tonight, we're gonna watch 2B Hero X. We're gonna talk about it because I actually have a thing I want to talk about with this because I heard about it and I'm like, this is interesting. It's probably the first show I've heard about doing this, but it's a way you do it right, you can have fun with it. But do it wrong, it's gonna kind of see it feel out of place. We'll do 2B Hero X. We'll go through and talk about it. And that's what we're at with that. We'll come back to Big After End because I at least want to give Big After End 2 episodes, 5 and 6, to kind of get us back on track. And I feel like if 4 didn't do much for us, I don't think 5's gonna do much for us.
I hope so.
I
I
think
haven't
it's gonna
watched it.
I think it's gonna be more world building. I think it's gonna be more just kind of like that stuff. And I really need to see the videos first.
Have you seen it yet?
I've seen it, and I've seen snippets, and it wasn't that strong.
So we get
I
a
watched
secret
it and I'm
betrayal
not
scene.
gonna. I watched it and I'm not gonna ruin it for you.
I'm gonna watch it as soon as we get done watching. Or as soon as we get done with this taping. I'm gonna go watch it. All right.
Cool. I'll watch
Whenever
it with
you're
you.
ready. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? We'll just do both because if it was actually interesting, if it's actually interesting enough, we'll do it because it's actually gonna be interesting. All right, let's do it. Let's start with this.
Which one we doing first?
Let's do being after the end.
All right. Let me go back to it.
Because it just feels like there's nothing
We
there. But
talked
then
it
you're
up
like,
for him.
well, because you're saying betrayal scene. I'm like, okay, we know what she's done, but we have to see how it's gonna play out. That's the thing. Like, I don't really feel like
Yeah.
he gave us that. You're laughing. Don't help me. You're laughing.
I feel like it's gonna be a waste of an episode.
We're doing it anyway.
Because we clearly see her in this monologue scene, like this open scene. So,
all right. So in a second, I will say 3, 2, 1, and then we'll get going. Gentlemen, you ready?
yes, sir.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. The beginning after the end, the King's test.
I started laughing so hard, my dog thought something was wrong with me.
Huh? Okay, I'm definitely confused.
Bro, I'm cutting this off.
What?
Bro, this was pointless. Why you set us up like this only to let us down?
Pause that for a second.
Wait, you want to pause?
Yeah.
I'm at
So,
132.
like, are they saying that she didn't care, but they ended, she didn't know it was gonna be? She didn't know that they were trying to kill him.
Keep watching.
All right, all right. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Why is always an old man that's just gangster, bro?
Cause it ain't like, bro. I can
Yeah, you're
never
not gonna do
say,
it on purpose for that.
My next D&D character is gonna be an old man.
bro. Why do you think I dressed up as Sakamoto?
Old eyes, as they say. Wait, princess?
I can see that coming.
I can see that coming too, but that throws a wrench at that.
Y'all want to skip intro?
Yeah, I'm gonna skip. And whenever you're ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Just to save on time. I know.
Yeah, I agree.
But why wouldn't she tell him that then? You should have told Art you were a princess. Like, it doesn't make sense to leave that secret just kind of there.
Like, I didn't choose to come here on my own, dude. She
You know,
made me come.
she knew where this was. I love how Chris made it through all this. Through all this.
I can't stop laughing right now.
Laughing about what?
Oh, you'll see. The most funniest thing about this episode is going to be everything that Deon says at the end of this episode.
Bro, I might say something during.
I like the way this town looks. I have to give him that. This town looks cool.
Yeah.
Or the civilization of that town.
Yeah,
Wait.
wide scale trio type village.
Do I want to say this? Do I want to say this? Do I want to say it?
Say it. Because y'all two haven't seen it. I have. It's either
Why
gonna
does
make
it
me laugh
remind me
hard.
of Slime? It's a 1-to-1. Was it Slime that had the people in the trees?
No. You're thinking of more Jobless.
Yeah, there we go. Wait, why is Slime made jobless? This has like jobless written all over it.
I mean, this is pretty much every isekai anime.
Every elf kingdom,
elf
so I'm not gonna
setup.
be like too bad.
Living in a tree some type of way.
I mean, there was even an episode of it in Delicious in Dungeons, so yeah.
Yeah, it's just typical, like, what do you call a stereotype of elves?
you can't afford to have your guard down. They let you in their land. They ain't gonna kill you now.
Yeah, they will.
Mm-hmm. They just said they've been at war for years.
Keep calling him a savage. I don't even know who he is.
And I'm about to say that's what they want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Deon, one of your daughters bring home a strange dude, and you want questions?
By the way,
Answer.
it's sure it's not tired
Nah, ain't
anymore.
no conversation happening. I don't care what she say. You can save her or not.
That's what I'm
It's not
Go on,
saying.
tired
watch your
anymore, and his
business, bro.
pants ain't ripped.
Is he even wearing pants at this point? Like,
No, he was. I think he
Yeah.
still is.
Yeah.
I think he still wears pants. Still seeing this shot.
his shirt got longer. Like,
Shirt did get
Like
longer.
it's not tattered anymore. It's a new shirt.
hey, bro, what is going on with this, man? Where his
Well, no,
coat go?
well, as far as his shirt, the girl passed it up for him.
You could probably do that. You could say that.
No, but they actually showed that in the last episode.
Oh yeah, they did show it. That's right. They did show it. She passed it up.
When they was in the tent.
Now, where's his? Nah, because his shirt was patched up before he even got to the ground.
Well, hey, I
But
never said that they did something.
yeah, I give him a little credit for trying. Now, let me ask y'all this:
Oh, his pants
when
are
he
still
went
ripped.
through the
That gives your
thing,
answer.
did he have his backpack on or no?
Yes, but they
Where
took
is
it.
his backpack, bro?
I think the guards took it.
No, yeah, one of the guards was holding it in one of the last
Yeah,
scenes.
so the guards have it.
But
We just don't
but
see
you
it.
can't give me my backpack back.
Supposedly, it's in his room now. Yeah.
Supposedly. Oh man.
Your daughter was on her.
I will say this. That was a weird time to get his inner thoughts. We did not need his inner
No,
thoughts there.
he
I
spoke the
killed him.
truth over.
He is.
I'd have worked over there and kicked him in his nose and just went back. Like, that's what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they? Oh, for profit. Never mind. I was like, why would they sell her off?
So who really rules the kingdom, the husband or the wife?
The wife.
The husband.
That's kind of obvious in this case.
I would say you're both wrong because the daughter, she just told them everything of what to do and how to do it, and her dad didn't say nothing.
That's okay. You're actually right. Yeah, I'll give you that
Yeah,
one. But also it's
Come
his
that was
on,
daughter,
Big
so
Deon.
he's
Daddy's little
not going to say
girl.
anything to his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
His
Like,
daddy, little girl. I'm gonna let you get your way until you can't. Like,
yeah, pretty much. That's
you can't push every button. You know what I'm saying?
That's the way you feel
well,
about your youngest right now, ain't it?
Yeah, when it's like minute stuff, I can let you feel like you're getting away with something. You know, all right, you can keep the boy alive because I can kill him at any moment. Like, you know,
I will say the outfits in this look more Jedi-like, which is actually kind of funny. You look at like what's that?
You know,
Why is she staring at her dad like that?
she's getting her way. She's spoiled.
hmm
Wait, so the teleporting gate can only be accessed once every 7 years between all three races. Okay.
and it won't be open for another 5 years. So you saying he gonna be there for 5 years? Okay, nope.
Hold on.
The only reason why I'm asking for the bag is because where is my egg, bro?
So is he having a small heart attack? Or he can't control the energy he got from the dragon lady. Still.
Mm.
Man, he does look like a Jedi. Just weird.
Young Padawan. Then see Luke Skywalker come out and just say, "Boom." Anakin,
Wow.
yeah.
Then Yoda's about to walk out. Wait. Now you think about your parents? What? Okay.
It's been 7 episodes.
It's only been 5, but I get your point. Like, what? I know what he's thinking. Like, he want to go see his parents again. So why did you go do that in the first place? What the world have you? And what have they been doing? Both problems are interesting.
He is dressed like Anakin or something.
Yeah, it's like it looks so odd comparatively to this world.
But like honestly, you could low key pass this episode off as a Star Wars episode.
Yeah, you can.
The way her hair is tied, the way they look in the background. You could either
He
pass.
really
You
do
could,
look like a young Anakin.
you can also pass it off as a Lord of the Rings episode.
You also do that
I
too.
mean, they're pretty much the same thing, just different universes.
Yeah.
And I can say that because I'm a fan of both. So y'all can kiss.
Also, he used to be a king, so he asked that question to her. Like, wait, yes, they will.
No, they won't. They didn't even look for it.
Fair, but there's a plot hole there. But the plot hole is the fact that
Look,
he told him to leave.
we know because it's an anime, yeah, but
Ah, we've seen some weirder things.
that's true.
Thank you. Thank you
Aw,
again.
that's cute.
The-
Do we know how old he is right now? Is he like 6?
He'll be 5 or 6, I think, at this point. Firefly plot. What expression is he talking about?
The expression she made when when they first captured him.
Yeah, but her expression was kind of blank. She didn't fight.
That was the point. She wasn't shocked. She wasn't anxious. She wasn't scared. She was just blank.
That's why we thought she betrayed him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I use power. Wait, what? Grandpa.
It's a
That's the
test.
tattoo. The King's Test, as the title suggests.
Nah. He finna train his ass for them 5 years.
No, he gonna be the one to take him home.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Sit your little self down over here.
I love that. I love that he just did
He
that
could have
without even
easily
thinking.
just said, "Go sit down." He just was like, "Nah,
Nope.
wait, you
I'll
don't get a
pick you up and do it
choice."
myself.
Now you go over here now.
Bro, is this not a Elvin, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Anakin Skywalker,
Yeah.
bro?
I mean, through with the jackets and all.
Basically, this is the old
Yeah.
king teaching a new young Padawan how to fight. Legitimately. You just chopped at it. Nice throw. Now you can use the magic. What?
He had to come out of his shell for a minute.
By the way, what the rules of this duel?
No, he really just won.
Second
Uh-oh.
round.
Uh-oh.
Ow. Ow. You do that to Grandpa.
Mm-hmm. Got a sending stone or something?
Are we doing like the force thing where we're gonna get like a
Mm-hmm. If you don't, you go turn to the dark side, Anakin.
As if you don't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, there we go. There's the thing we
Anakin
were waiting for.
As predicted, everything that Deon is finna say about this show is finna be the most funniest thing you have ever heard. Because it was so topsy turvy at this point. I know.
Okay, so there's no credit ending for this one. I was waiting because I'm gonna say this first, ladies and gentlemen. I like the idea we get the closure for this episode, but there's still some unanswered questions. And now the unanswered questions are kind of random. And the funny thing to me, the big things from this episode, so I'm not gonna do full play by play. You just really need it. Big things for me: elf girl, princess. The fact she can get anything from her parents. The fact she kind of runs the kingdom. The other thing is Arthur's still having his chest pain from all the power he's got, which he can't really use properly. And then he's going to get recruited by the Fourth King and be his apprentice. And he still wants to see his parents, because he hasn't seen them yet. But now that whole storyline could be dropped at this point. Get up my To Be Hero X, by the way, episode 5. We'll get in a second. Chris, actually, no, I'll do this. Deon, I'll start with you. What did you think about this episode? This episode was kind of wild.
Can I actually say, first things first, I did not hate this episode. I didn't hate it.
Okay.
All 4 of the episodes that was in this one, I didn't hate it. I would like for this show to finally gain some consistency and actually tell one story at one time. But bro, can we? I don't want to say it like that because
Nah, go and say it.
that's
You
gonna
already started that.
sound real rude, bro.
Say
You
it.
already started the sentence. Just finish it.
What in the heck is going on with this plot, bro?
Yeah, there we go.
There it is.
What are we talking about in this episode, bro? We got Lord of the Rings, we got Star Wars, we had a little Harry Potter moment. Like, bruh, y'all want to kill me? Now we best friends. You want to train me? Where's my stuff, bruh? Like, then all of a sudden, so everything in this episode made the last episode that much worse. Like, what was the point of the wolf feeding him, bruh? Bruh,
right.
every episode. Bruh, I had to take the glasses off. This episode is absolutely shattering the last episode in plot. It made it that, bruh. So, like I said, for the last episode, we just watched 23 minutes that had nothing to do with anything. Nothing. Why do we care what they talking about in this episode? What's the reason? Give me the why. Can any one of you give me the why for this episode?
Here's the
outside
thing.
of the last 10 seconds.
Here's the thing, Deon. This reminds me, and I'm gonna bring it up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna bring this up because it reminds me of something that's funny. It reminds me of Dead Mount Death Play. Chris, you know where I'm going with this.
How?
Let me explain.
Please. Because I'm gonna dog you out if please.
It's not better than Dead Mount Death Play. But it reminds me
I don't
of
even see the resemblance.
It reminds me of Dead Mount Death Play when Dead Mount Death Play used to do the thing with their dialogue. Chris remembers this, where they would have their dialogue go off. They'd be talking, and they'll just have a random conversation. But the last second of the 30 seconds of the conversation, last minute of the conversation, is the thing you need to know about. That's what they're trying to do here, but it doesn't work. So ultimately,
a conversation, not an entire episode.
That's the problem. They're doing the whole episode's conversation about the king, the fact why the king to this, the whole fact that the king don't live by your fire.
Okay, let me go ahead and step in here. Okay.
Go ahead.
Look, I will admit that the pacing of this episode is all over the place. The pacing for the last few episodes are all over the place. Because everything that they could have done within these last 5 episodes really could have been the first 2 episods. Let's just be real with it.
The first one.
Actually,
no, but hold up though, because they still needed some time to tell you how important the dragon is to him. So I get that.
We still don't know how important the dragon is to him. He spent less time. He spent more time with the elf girl than he did with the dragon.
No, he
I would.
didn't.
He spent more
So
time with the dragon.
Yes,
he
he
did.
did. We spent one moment with the dragon in the cave. He waved the stick around and ate some fruit, and then bam! Now all of a sudden, that's his grandma. This dude literally slept nights with the elf girl. They ate multiple meals. They fought together. They almost died. They traveled. He
He
spent
was with the
more
dragon
times
for
with the
about.
elf
He
girl.
was with the dragon for about a week, while he was with the girl for about 4 days.
4 days of continuous peril. Give me 4 days to get with my back against the wall versus 7 days of leisure, and I'm gonna tell you which person I got a better bond with.
Well, then we didn't say which person you had a bond with. We said which person you spend more time with.
Yeah, but oh my god! And do we know for sure it was like a week?
Yeah, because
It was close.
they said it was about a week.
Yeah, they did say in time. It was about a week. Chris, finish your thought, and I'm gonna ask both of y'all for your rating so we can get to
But he was
where we're
knocked
at.
out for 3 of them days.
Yes, it was.
Exactly.
Yes, it was.
So they really spent around the same time together.
Yeah.
The only difference is that the dragon actually sacrificed herself and gave a piece of herself to him. So it's like,
That's true. While the elf girl almost got him killed
hey,
twice.
see. So which one would you put your life in? The one who already sacrificed
Neither
themselves for
one,
exactly. I would just have been home. But
but at least the
that's
dragon.
why
Yeah. All right, you can
that's
follow me
why
to the crib, bro, if you want to, and my dad and his adventure friends could take you back.
exactly there and now after that. So therefore I'm going to give this episode a 3.
Okay.
You so nice.
John, I need the rating.
You don't want it.
For the fans, I'm gonna ask for it. I know what you're probably gonna go with, but
I'm
go
gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Now
Minus a 0.5 for the plot skipping, minus 1.5 for the story being all over the place, minus 0.5 for the characters not actually having a strong backstory to them, minus a 0.5 for us getting
so
2.6 seconds of an interesting storyline in a 24 minute
22 minute. 22 minute technically. Or 22 minute, like 59 seconds. So like
23 and a half for this.
so that comes to what, -10,
somewhere
maybe
in there.
25.
Something like that, yeah. Because I mean, oh my god, bro, how much time can we waste? I'm wasting time right now just to get my own time back. I'm watching this
So
episode.
for Deon's official score, it gets a NULL, not even registering
Not
as
a
a
fucking
as a
multi
as
register
an
on a
anime
scale.
episode.
Yeah.
Big fat N/A.
Not applicable. No, this not even an episode of anime. This is what you call this is a scup you reach back and you wipe and then you throw it in the toilet.
Okay.
That's what that.
Hey, I will say, I hate that I do like the last 5 seconds of each episode. The last 5 seconds of each episode is actually tolerable and worth something.
You mean the credits? Let me
No,
stop.
like
No, I mean
the
like
literal
if you take it all, he fought with a dragon. Well, he survived from a fight with a dragon. He fell off. Well, first he fell off a cliff doing some little ninja stuff. That was kind of cool. I give it to him. Then he, got a little dragon egg. I love pets. You know. Then he survived and almost got betrayed. That was like a cool little plot twist. And then we, get Obi-Wan Kenobi on his last one. I love
so
that.
so
But
so,
it's
so
everything.
Deon, so you're basically saying I'm You're a wrestling fan, so I'm gonna put this to your wrestling brain right now.
Mhm.
You're basically saying they set this up to have moments, but no actual story that's actually meaningful to get you to that moment.
Nope. This is Cena versus The Rock without nobody knowing who Cena is.
Because they can't see him.
There we go. That's why I did that.
This is before the Fruity Pebbles Cena. This is
Here's the weird thing. So I'll say this right now. We're gonna end on this tonight because I think this is just we're gonna do both of Hero Access next week because I think that's gonna be the better play. But right now, if you told me should I continue watching?
sorry, I took so much time.
No, you're fine. We're talking about other things at the beginning, so we're doing fine. I could like this because should we talk about the beginning after the end? Should we keep watching the beginning after the end? Or should I tell somebody if you really want to watch the show after the show got hyped to all get out? And Chris brought it up when we first started the episode tonight. He said it's to be a fan got overhyped. To be a Hero X got underhyped. Here's the problem. That balances out to make it equal. So it really didn't change much, did it? I feel like the beginning after end was just there to give us. They give us a story that's interesting and fun, but nothing goes on with the story. If you take out all the moments that you mentioned, Deon, at this point,
Yeah.
this show could be interesting if you kind of combine it into like a small movie. Right now, you have 5 episodes that can be about 2 hours. Ultimately, you move some stuff around.
Nah, bro, because honestly, I'll be completely peeved off if you gave me a 2-hour movie of this crap.
Well, yes, but if you move stuff around and kind of gave us some more details here and there, then we're good. But you don't give us the details. There's no details.
You got to get to a point. I don't even care what the point is. Get to a point.
Yeah.
What is this anime about? Can you tell me?
A guy trying to learn how to be a good person.
That's an assumption.
It's an assumption.
What is this anime about? There's no point to this.
There's no
like, yeah, we get that he's trying to be redeemed, but that's already happened. He been redeemed since.
Okay.
He
If
fell in love with his
if I
family.
were answering this question, and you know what my answer would be, this is Dante's Inferno.
No, Dante sought revenge. Dante sought repentance. No.
He was trying to find revenge. He's trying to find revenge, but he didn't get.
No, you can't do Dante like that.
Yeah.
What? This is
First of all,
right. Yeah, this is baby Dante. This is Dante who wanted revenge and repentance and then got it and couldn't give up. This is after Dante's Inferno. This is Dante's Paradise.
Okay, I'll say this.
It's Hell's Paradise.
Yeah. I'll give it like a 2. I think this is gonna get better, but it has to get through
No.
a little muck. There's a lot of muck. There's a lot of
Episode
stuff.
10.
10. I'm gonna say at least like 7.
I think this is still going for 24 episodes, so you might be right.
So episode 10 start getting interesting.
How long we staying on the elf? We're staying in the Elf Kingdom for 5 years. He's getting trained for 5 years. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, but with this show, it could be the next episode. He'll be 15.
Oh, we do time skips? Are we really gonna do time skips?
We've done it every 2 episodes.
Yep, there we go.
Every 2 episodes, there's a time skip. So the next episode, we're due.
You might as well go back and watch Remaster.
Yeah, that's fair.
But at least they made sense with their time skips. As sketchy as the show was.
Yeah, they did.
They let you know everything that was happening.
I will say this, ladies and gentlemen. I do honestly believe that the beginning after the end is an interesting show. Can there be polish? Can there be things that can be talked about? Yes. But I think right now, the thing is it hasn't met fans' expectations. And fans' expectations are usually super high. So I'm not saying that fans did it, but I think a mix between fans overdoing it and the people making it probably don't balance out. I will say this: we'll continue watching it through the rest of the season to finish it out. But I think once we get to episode 12, I think we'll probably be done. We're not going to watch Core 2. We might keep up with Core 2.
How are shows like this getting funding, but Solo Leveling has to beg for money? What?
That's another thing for another day, by the way, because we can really talk about that. That could be another topic itself. So hold that thought. We might do that next week, so don't.
Who asked the
Hold that thought. But yeah,
Bro, if they don't give us a training arc, I'm not watching this with y'all.
No, the question is, how much would you pay for it?
They have to give us like at least.
If they skip all 5 years in this Elf Kingdom,
they can't.
This next episode, or
they can't,
bro, I'm out. I'm out.
Because here's the thing: you introduce the wise old man, and here's the problem: when anime does that, usually you have to kind of stick with them for a bit, so they can't just skip ahead to past that.
That's what we thought about the dragon.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what we thought about the dad when he started training him with the sword.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's what we thought about the ninja girl when she gave him the dagger and the rope.
Yeah. You're right.
We've had 5 trainers already. It's 5. It's episode 5.
And out of those 5 people, he trained 1.
Yeah.
And now he's like this super duper magic kid. The elf dude was already like, "Oh, you almost overwhelmed me." Now, like 5 years of that, bro. They gonna skip to like year 3, and he already gonna be living amongst the elves like he's one of them. The dragon gonna be about to hatch. It's gonna be some crazy stuff, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep on this ride with us. I think this is the weirdest spring season we've had in a long time. In the sense that,
wait a minute though. The last weird one was the Train to the End of the World. How long ago was that?
It was what, two seasons ago.
So yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago. But here's the thing: at least Train to End of the World had also a story that actually was fun and interesting. This has nothing to keep it afloat.
Okay, but
the last real one was MASH season 2.
Dang, there you go. So I don't know what we're gonna get into. I don't know what's gonna happen. I just kind of see it like, all right, we'll see where the show goes. Here's the thing: I will tell people, if you haven't watched the cliffhanger from To Be a Hero X, watch that. Watch that. It's worth that. I think that's a better story. And the thing I'm going to tease you with, and I'm going to leave you with this, gentlemen. To Be a Hero X is actually played in reverse. So, what they're trying to do?
You said what?
To Be a Hero X is played in reverse. I'll leave you with that cliffhanger. I'll talk about that more next week. I do thank you for watching. This will go on Spotify. Spotify after it processes. This will also go up on the YouTube channel on Thursday. I do thank Chris and Deon for joining me. I do thank you for watching. We enjoyed.
No, you don't.
I'll be next time. See ya.
Please.